to Health Views, a community health education program co-sponsored by Maine Medical Center and Maine Health. Across southern, central, and western Maine, something exciting is happening. Healthcare providers, including doctors, hospitals, home care agencies, and long-term care facilities, are coming together in a unique way. These local organizations and individuals, including Maine Medical Center, are working together as part of the Maine Health family. They are working for one common goal: to help you and your family make informed choices about your health needs so that our communities are the healthiest in America. Hello and welcome to Health Views. I'm Julie Osgood. Parkinson's disease may be one of the most baffling and complex neurological disorders. It afflicts over 1.5 million people nationally and an estimated 7,000 people here in Maine. In this edition of Health Views, you will discover a better understanding of the challenges faced by people with Parkinson's disease and their families. You will learn what Parkinson's disease is, the latest in research and treatments for the disease, what you will find at the Parkinson's Information and Referral Center, and what resources are available in your community to help Maine people with Parkinson's disease and their caregivers. Now we're going to hear from members of our community and health professionals about how they are working together to help people with Parkinson's disease and their caregivers. What is Parkinson's disease?
Parkinson's disease is a multi-system disorder that primarily affects the nervous system. Unfortunately, it's a progressive disorder, and there is truly a variety of expression of the disease. In fact, if you compare patients alongside one another, no two are the same. It's a bit daunting that way for professionals trying to assess whether or not one has Parkinson's disease. But essentially, I think when the public thinks of Parkinson's disease, they think of someone with a tremor at rest, slowness of movement, stiffness of muscles, and difficulty walking. And these are the so-called motor symptoms, but there's much more to Parkinson's disease than this. In modern times, people typically do not die of Parkinson's disease. In the past, it was much more likely if one had a limited range of motion that they would develop complications of the disease which could cost them their lives. Nowadays, our therapies are so effective that Parkinson's disease does not generally shorten the lifespan or cause death directly. There are some rare people, unfortunately, who develop problems such as difficulty swallowing. Choking on food or drink may result in pneumonia, which could lead to a fatal complication. Parkinson's disease should be diagnosed by a neurologist familiar not only with what Parkinson's is, but what Parkinson's is not, or said another way, all the things that are not Parkinson's disease. There are several different entities that may look like the disease. If one is able to exclude these by history and examination, then Parkinson's is really diagnosed on a clinical basis, in other words, by the symptoms. The four cardinal motor symptoms that we look for are tremor at rest, rigidity of muscles, slowness of movement, and changes in the gait. And these are the symptoms from which the diagnosis is made. There are many other symptoms which may support the diagnosis, but they're not part of the diagnostic criteria. This is a very complicated disease, and it really requires an individualized treatment plan. Secondly, exercise, stretching, working on balance are really key things that patients with Parkinson's disease should embrace daily. They're just as effective as some medications. And lastly, people with Parkinson's disease shouldn't try to reinvent the wheel. They should educate themselves. They should meet others with the disease, join support groups, talk about their concerns, and raise their questions, because they may find that someone else already has the answers they're looking for.
I was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease when I was 40. It really wasn't very easy getting that diagnosis. It took several years of my searching for the right person. My primary care physician really didn't want to believe, I think, that a 35-year-old was capable of having that disease. I came into my appointments with the same symptoms. I had the right-sided stiffness. I had the tremor in my right hand. It was everything that I knew was Parkinson's disease. I got in the car with him and I said, Andrew, I have something I have to tell you. I said, you know the shakes that Mom gets? And he looked at me and he said, do you have Parkinson's? And I said, yeah, I do. He's like, oh, I could have told you that. He says, Mrs. So-and-so, his English teacher, had it. And he says, oh, you have all the same symptoms that she had. And this was years before. Didn't surprise him in the least bit. So I went out and I bought a book so I could start educating myself. But we had another child at home, and we hadn't told her yet. And we weren't sure how she was going to react to it. But yet there were all of these books all over the house. Well, the word disease means death in a lot of children's eyes. And she would see this and think, my mother's dying. And that was very difficult. Didn't tell my employers right away. Was my brother, who obviously I worked with, but I needed to kind of get a feel for what it was truly going to mean for my work world. So I didn't know how that was going to play into my tremors in my hands or my inability to remember things or the cognitive functioning or whatever. And decided a couple weeks later that I would do, that I would tell them. My daily living is a struggle. Every day is different. I wake up every morning unable to move, which for anybody else to look at me thinks it's nuts, because I run in road races. I run 3, 5, 7 mile road races. My husband and I do together, and I finish, and I do great. My medicine sits on my bedstand with a glass of water. My alarm goes off 45 minutes before I am supposed to be able to get out of bed. I take my medication. By the time that kicks in, I can get out of bed, I can hold on to my dresser and hold on to my bed. You'd think I was 100 years old, and I can get myself to the bathroom. I have a stall shower. I have to sit on the floor in my shower. I sit Indian style, and that's how I shower in the morning. It takes about an hour to an hour and a half to really feel like I can start moving, drying my hair, brushing my teeth. Once it's kicked in and everything's all good, I'm good. I'm ready to go. We go to the gym, I'll go to the gym and work out in the morning. I lift weights. I run. I do all of that. I feel great. There'll be parts of the day, if I forget to take my medicine, I'm in trouble. I am in trouble. My right leg will drag. I will have difficulty holding pens in my hands. There are special pens that are made now for Parkinson's patients. I can type beautifully. It just has to go a little slower with the right hand. I find a movement disorder specialist, not just a neurologist. Movement disorder specialists know that's what they do, that's what they were educated for. They're first in line with all the right meds. Educate yourself, read as many books, find a support group that fits you. If it means going to 2 or 3 different ones before you find the right fit, then do it.